Alrighty, so I'm going to be covering the Millennial Development Goal number 7 here in Cambodia, which talks about ensuring environmental sustainability. So, and I have here a map of Cambodia I'm going to navigate through to help me out a little bit. Cambodia has a strong dependence on its natural resources like water, forest, soil, and land. However, over the past decade, Cambodia's natural environment has faced different threats such as uncontrolled and illegal logging, overfishing, and illegal fishing practices, biodiversity loss, weak natural resource policies and management, and a lot more. And so we can say the environmental management in Cambodia is pretty weak. And so I'm going to be covering different aspects of this. I'm going to start with deforestation. So some of the reasons for this, one is agriculture reasons, population growth, and then demanding for more land, and just development and construction are some of the main deforestation reasons. And you can kind of see in the map, let's see if I can zoom in. You can see where it's more green and not. And so the areas where it's lighter, the really light are the cities, and the lighter green is just farmland, and the darker green are the forests. And so you can see there's more farmland than forests here. Next, I want to talk a little about waste and wastewater management. In the past few years, daily waste that was being collected amounted roughly to 800 tons of solid waste. This was in Phnom Penh, the capital, which has about 2 million people here. The ratio dropped significantly in other major cities as well. Sewage and wastewater treatment and disposal are unable to meet the growing population needs. So in Phnom Penh, the sewerage system has not been maintained for more than 3 decades, and 80% of the sewers are blocked or severely damaged. So during the dry season, untreated sewage is directly discharged into rivers, and during the wet season, a mixture of sewage and stormwater backs up into houses in low-lying areas, which poses as serious health risks. Next, I kind of want to talk about the inland fisheries and coastal resources degradation. Cambodia has the 4th largest fishery in the world. The legal use of destructive fishing tools and methods has undermined the long-term sustainability of fish and marine resources. And this will especially have a negative impact on the lives of people whose daily consumption and cash income depend on these resources. And let me navigate to one of the, here's one of the fisheries. It's going in kind of slow, but you can kind of see it, the huge water section. This is one of the main fisheries here. And as I said before, there's a lot of pollution and trash that's also that have been tossed into places like these. And next, I kind of wanted to talk about poor protection of biodiversity in protected areas. And so Cambodia has one of the highest protected area coverages in the region, about 18.3%. But there haven't been sufficient resources allocated to the national and local levels to carry out their duties in protecting these areas. Also, in these protected areas, a lot of the wildlife is being poached, and so the population rate is decreasing rapidly. There are agencies in charge of protecting all these things, but none have done a well enough job. partially due to the reason of not having enough resources themselves, financially, having people, physical resources, etc. And so, let's see, I can navigate real quick to, here's one of the protected areas. It's a national park. If it ever gets there. Right here you can see this is the part we saw from up above. It's just green. So this is all forest and one of the protected areas. And so for kind of a solution, Cambodia already has, they have policies, they have groups to protect and to better these situations. They just need proper funding and resources from the government and for them to focus on that. So that's my little presentation on the Millennium Development Goal number 7 to ensure environmental sustainability.